So whenever you are using animals in research, there is an ethical procedure that you must take so that design is safe for the animals. There's a big controversy today of whether using animals is ethical or unethical. So today scientists have put in this procedure to make it as most comfortable and ethical as possible. So Russell and Birch in 1959 created 3 Rs: replace, reduce, and refine. Basically, it's using a limited number of animals as possible so you don't have to use that many, and it limits the distress on the animal. Also refining the experience so that the animal is as comfortable as possible. And then replacing is you don't want to have to use the same animal twice, so it kind of has that comfort level to it. Along with that, the 3 Rs, you usually have to go through an ethical committee, and they will look at 4 different reasons and parts of the experience. So justification of research is what you're researching. Is it justified to use animals? Like, is that the last resort? You need an animal to test this on. Like, can you not test it on humans? So the justification of research is basically looking at your experiment, looking at your hypothesis, and trying to see if it's okay to use that animal or not. Next, the researchers involved. So basically, it's kind of looking at the training that is going to be put into the people on that team for that experience, making sure they know how to handle animals, look at the vital signs, having someone who knows that animal biology and all of that so that they know when something is wrong and when something is right. Also, 2 and 3 kind of go together, but 3 is care and housing of animals. Do they have proper procedures of how to make the animals most comfortable during the procedure and after, so they're not just like crammed in a cage together. It's going to be as healthy for that animal as possible after the experiment is taking place. And then 4 is basically surgical experimentation on animals. Usually you have to get a special waiver for this, so you have to talk to someone. There has to be almost like a veterinarian present, someone who knows that procedure that that experiment is going to be doing, so they know if something is going wrong. So definitely the surgical experiment, and you can't do surgery on an animal more than once. That is not allowed. So they try to make it as easy and painless as possible. So yeah, that's the ethical ways that scientists have come up today to keep these animals safe and also help us advance in scientific knowledge.
Animals used in the cosmetic industry partake in many experiments for humans to gain knowledge on the results of using certain beauty products. These animals are used to test for reactions concerning human allergies and skin irritation. The brutal use of the lab animals cause many unethical practices to be used. The animals that undergo the cruel tests and experiments often end their experience with injuries or death.
What animals are used in what kind of research? Dr. Mentinetti once said it cannot be stressed enough that animal studies have led to the production of drugs that have affected the epidemiology of human pathology, contributing to the prolonging life. So, again, what type of animals are used in research that prolongs a human's life? Well, mostly it's rodents, pigs, lamb, rabbits, and primates. And the research that they're primarily used in is biomedical research, whether it is vaccination, cancer, physical therapy, genetics, and molecular research. One of the most important things to know is that this has created immense gains for human safety and health. And even the vaccination for meningitis came from animal research. And a lot of things for reproduction health for women, such as in vitro and ways to become pregnant, were first tested on animals.
How can using animals in research help? Mammals and humans share most medicine. Up to 90% of medicine is shared between animals and humans. This direct correlation is beneficial to both animals and humans because if a breakthrough happens for animals, it also happens for humans and vice versa. Short animal lifespans means that research evolves fast. Lab mice tend to have a 2-year lifespan when compared to that of a human who has at least 70 years. These short lifespans of mice means that researchers can observe generational changes in a very short lifespan, meaning that they can gather information quickly and form more correct and conclusive conclusions. Mammals also share similar anatomy. They have similar bone and muscular structure. That means that physical therapies and surgeries performed on animals could, in theory, also be performed on humans.
Animal research is a very controversial topic, and many people ask why researchers and scientists still do it. Truth is that living systems are still far too complex for us to model. Scientists and researchers have developed new technologies, but the principle has not changed. There are many things we don't know, and the only accurate way to find out is by testing on a living creature. No isolated enzymes can yet serve as a model for what can happen in a single real cell, and no culture of cells can recapitulate what goes on in a real organism. As primitive as it may sound, that's not what these experiments are aiming for. A lot goes into the process of research and choosing the best method to go about it. Therefore, there are no effective alternative methods. They wouldn't bring accurate results like animal testing does. Alternatives do not do a sufficient job of making products and medicine safe.